Back probed into pin 2, green and black wire. That's the signal coming from the climate control module. We're going to get up to the top of the car and ground this to the battery once I lower the vehicle down. We've made access to the compressor here. Dropped down the cover, removed one cover, dropped the other. As long as I got a good connection, this will work out. Okay, grounded to the battery now. We have the AC on. I'm seeing some activity on this. Let's slow this down so we can see the square wave. We are going 12 to 0 square wave. Probably gonna be battery voltage. All right, I'm going to set this camera up. So I'm gonna go run and control the AC and see if our frequency changes. Let's see if I can do a frequency channel on it. I lost my connection apparently, I think. There we go. I did lose my connection. That's what happened. I lost the connection. Right now we're about 400 hertz. And it shut it off. unless I lost my connection. I could prove losing my connection by going and cutting it back on. Now what I did here is I shut it completely off, so we're likely this thing is just off right now. I didn't lose my connection again. But I'm gonna verify that by putting it to the one position on the fan blower. I may have lost it, I don't know. Alright, that's position one. We now have a frequency of 400 hertz. It's trying to cut that on. We have a signal all the way to the regulator valve in the compressor. I guess we know what that means. We need a new compressor. Right now also with this temperature, we have a hot engine. We're showing 105 PSI on the low side, 101.4. Now at rest we had 80, 89, 88, 89 on the low. We had like 93 on the high, and it's 87 degrees out here right now. That was a full cold soak from overnight over the weekend actually. About the same temperatures we had when we came in. Somebody likely did try to add some Freon to this. I mean, because the car sat originally for a couple hours before we pulled it in the bay. That should have been enough time to get it down to ambient temperature. The only time the engine ran was long enough to pull it in from the parking lot to the bay. But I'm going to show you the pressures right now with this hot engine. It's been running for a few minutes now. I can close the hood and see what temperature, what these pressures get up to. I'm going to pull my gauges out. I'm just going to pull this down. We have proven that we are isolated at the compressor with the issue, but here is the pressures. Currently no changes. I'm going to shut off the system again. Show you that pressure is still the same. We only have it on the fan on one speed. AC is on recirculate, and on the front vent, the top vents there, the face vents, whatever you like to call them. Now I got it off. We hear the idle appear to go down a little bit, maybe the fan cut off, and no activity. I'm gonna do that one more time. Here's the pressures, still the same, 106 on the low, 103 on the high. Cut it on, we're gonna go full speed ahead. I hear the idle go up, maybe it's the fan cutting on. I doubt it. It's probably the idle going up in preparation. So the computer thinks it's got everything it needs. We just have an isolated issue at the compressor. Now I need to pull the compressor, make sure it's not a burnout, and go from there. Let me get in here, we can see better. There we are. Back probe onto, if I can get in there. Right there, we're in pin 2. I will check the ground side, which is pin 1, just to make sure there's a good ground there. I will bring my ground wire back to that and see if I'm measuring a good waveform. So with the engine running, we're getting up to 118, 111 with the hood closed, mostly closed. That should build up some heat for me, and I'll see if I get to those temps that those pressures that I had the other day. Just kind of go back and check myself on what I did wrong. Currently, I am at 122 on both sides, and the engine should be about fully warmed. This is the proper charge in here. Gauge right there. This thing should be pretty damn near what it should be on at full temp. I think this is as hot as it's going to get with the engine running. This is as high as the pressure is going to get. I'm going to give it another 10 minutes and check again. Then I'm going to let it cold soak and watch this as well over the course of 30 minutes. All right, this is after about 20 minutes of running. I just feel like this thing had some Freon added to it. Maybe not. All right, that's position 1. We now have a frequency of 400 hertz. It's trying to cut that on. We have a signal all the way to the regulator valve in the compressor.